Hello everyone, I am Sneha Kushwaha, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Rama University, Kanpur. Today I am going to discuss a very important topic of medicinal chemistry, that is antibiotics. The word antibiotic means against life. So we can define antibiotics as antimicrobial agents obtained from other organisms to combat the harmful microorganisms. We can say that whether it is bacteria, it is fungi, or it is actinomycetes. So antimicrobial agents combat against the harmful microorganisms. Now we can also define antibiotics as chemical substances that suppresses the growth of other microorganisms or that inhibit the growth of other microorganisms, or we can say species. Now we shall discuss the properties of antibiotics. Now the first property of antibiotics is they should be effective at low concentration. Second one is they should be a product of metabolism, or they should be the structural analog of the natural antibiotics. Third, they should be stable. They should be stable while they are isolated from the natural source, or they should be stable when the antibiotic is synthesized during their manufacturing process. Now, next property is they should be non-toxic. Then they should be completely eliminated when administration of the particular antibiotic is completely stopped. Next, the antibiotics should be inexpensive and they should be easy to produce. Next, they should reach the body part where the infection occurs. Next, they should be non-allergic to the host. Then last, they should antagonize the growth or survival of the microorganism. Now we shall discuss the classification of the antibiotics. Many scientists are there, they have classified the antibiotics in various classes. Now we shall discuss the main classification. So first we can classify the antibiotics on the basis of their chemical structure. So on the basis of chemical structure, the antibiotics can be classified into various classes. First one is beta-lactam antibiotics. So in beta-lactam antibiotics, there are various examples like penicillins, cephalosporins, monobactams, carbapenems, tetracyclines, aminoglycosides, various are there. Now next is tetracyclines, then macrolides, polypeptides, polines, lincomycins, etc. Now next class is based on the source. Now source can be of three types. It can be a natural source, it can be a semi-synthetic source, or it can be a synthetic source. Now if we talk about the natural source, so on the basis of natural source, examples are penicillins. On the basis of semi-synthetic source, the example is ampicillin, and on the basis of a synthetic source, example may be chloramphenicol. Now on the basis of spectrum, if we divide the antibiotics, antibiotics can be classified into two types. First one is broad spectrum antibiotics and second one is narrow spectrum antibiotics. Broad spectrum, we can give examples of tetracyclines, and for nano spectrum we can give examples of penicillins. Based on activity, antibiotics are further divided into various categories. So first of all, based on activity, antibiotics can be divided into antibacterial antibiotics. So examples are penicillins, cephalosporins, etc. Now based on antibacterial activity, again the antibiotics can be divided into bacteriostatic and bactericidal. Bacteriostatic means that antibiotics which inhibit the growth of bacteria. So tetracyclines are bacteriostatic. Now bactericidal. Bactericidal means the antibiotics which stops the growth of antibiotics. Now examples may be metronidazole. Next category based on activity is antifungal antibiotics. Griseofulvin is the example. Next is anthelmintic agents. Example is ivermectin. Next is anti-cancer antibiotics. So there are various anti-cancer antibiotics. Example is dactinomycin. Now last and the most important classification of antibiotics is based on the mechanism of action. Now based on the mechanism of action, antibiotics can be divided into various classes. Now first class is the antibiotics which inhibit the cell wall of microorganism. Now on this basis various examples are there like penicillins, cephalosporins which generally inhibit the bacterial cell wall. Next classification is on the basis of the inhibition of cell membrane. Examples are polymyxins and colistin. Next classification is on the basis of inhibition of protein synthesis. So in this aminoglycosides are the best example. Last is nucleic acid synthesis inhibitors. Examples are fluoroquinolones and metronidazole. Now we shall discuss the beta-lactam antibiotics. What are beta-lactam antibiotics? So beta-lactam antibiotics are the antibiotics which contain a beta-lactam ring in their structure. So now what is this beta-lactam ring? So beta-lactam ring is a 4-membered ring containing a nitrogen and a carbonyl oxygen. Now in beta-lactam antibiotics we will be discussing various antibiotics. First one is penicillins, next is cephalosporins, third one is monobactams, and last is carbapenems. Now we shall discuss penicillins in detail. Now first of all we will discuss the biological source of penicillins. Penicillins are obtained from two major sources. First one is Penicillium notatum and next one is Penicillium chrysogenum. Now we will discuss the structure, the basic structure, or we can say the basic nucleus of penicillins. Now here is the structure of penicillin. It consists of two rings which are fused together. Now we can clearly see here there are two rings. First one is 5-membered ring containing a sulfur atom and nitrogen atom. Next ring is 4-membered ring. Now this first ring, that is 5-membered ring which is containing this sulfur atom, is known as thiazolidine ring. Next ring, that is the 4-membered ring, this is the beta-lactam ring. Then this side chain is known as the amide chain, or we can say this CONH is the amide linkage. So this is the basic nucleus of penicillins. Now we shall discuss the nomenclature of penicillins. First of all, for nomenclature we should understand the numbering system of penicillins. So numbering can be done in the penicillin structure in two ways. First of all, the numbering can start from the sulfur atom or from the nitrogen atom. Both numbering systems are correct. Second one is the Panem nucleus. So this basic nucleus which we discussed earlier is the Panem nucleus. So how we will be naming the penicillins? We can name as, this is the numbering system if we are numbering from the sulfur atom. So this is the numbering sequence. Sulfur is getting the first number, nitrogen atom 4th number, and the carbon which is having this side chain is the 6th carbon. So we will name this structure as follows: 6 acyl amino, 2,2 dash dimethyl, 3 carboxylic acid. Now third system of nomenclature we can name as penicillinic acid nucleus. So according to this nucleus we can again name this structure as 6 carbonyl amino penicillinic acid. Next is penicillin nucleus. So there are various nucleus according to which we can name the penicillin antibiotic. First one is Panem nucleus. Second one is, if we introduce the double bond in this 5-membered ring, then we name as Paneme nucleus. Next one is carbapenem. So carbapenem consists of carbon instead of this sulfur atom in the thiazolidine ring. Next, if we introduce the double bond in this 5-membered ring of carbapenem, it will be named as carbapeneme nucleus. Next structure is of CFAM. It consists of again two rings fused together. First ring is 6-membered containing a double bond. It is known as CFAM. And if this sulfur in the big ring is replaced with the carbon atom, then the nucleus is known as carbaCFAM. And if we replace this sulfur atom with oxygen atom, it is known as oxaCFAM. Now we shall discuss about the stereochemistry of penicillins. So again, this is the structure of penicillins. It contains two rings. First one is thiazolidine ring and the 4-membered ring is beta-lactam ring. So if we see the stereochemistry, carbon 3, that is the third carbon, carbon 5 and carbon 6 are chiral atoms. And all these 3 carbons, that is carbon 3rd, 5th and 6th, have the same configuration. Now carbon 6 has L configuration and carbon 3 has D configuration. Hence the acyl amino side chain which is connected to this 6th carbon and the carboxylic acid group that is connected to this 3rd carbon are in trans conformation to each other. Now we shall discuss about the mechanism of action of beta-lactam antibiotics. It is a very interesting mechanism. So the bacterial cell membrane is a mixed polymer. It is a peptidoglycan or we can say murin. Now this peptidoglycan or murin, that is a mixed polymer, is a polysaccharide chain which is made up of amino sugars. Now there are 2 amino sugars. First one is N-acetylmuramic acid, that is NAM, and the second amino sugar in the polysaccharide chain is N-acetylglucosamine, that is NAG. So this is the molecule which exists in the bacterial cell membrane. Here NAM, that is N-acetylmuramic acid, and NAG, that is N-acetylglucosamine, are linked to each other and forms a sugar backbone. Now various amino acids are connected to this NAM amino sugar, that is first one is alanine, glutamine, lysine, alanine and again alanine amino acid. Now 5 glycine molecule form a chain and are connected to the lysine amino acid. Similarly, various molecules like this are existing in the bacterial cell membrane. Now what happens? An enzyme is present in the bacterial cell membrane, that is a transpeptidase enzyme. So transpeptidase enzyme performs a very important function in the bacterial cell membrane. This enzyme removes this terminal D-alanine and forms a linkage between the terminal glycine of the another molecule and the last second amino acid of the next molecule. Hence the transpeptidase enzyme is responsible for the cross linking between the 2 molecules. So here penicillins inhibit the functioning of this enzyme, that is transpeptidase, and causes the inhibition of cell membrane. Thank you.